Hello there! What is going on, everyone? It is time for a very special unboxing for Star Wars Shatterpoint. This is the You Cannot Run Duel pack. This is a $100 pack for 2 miniatures, and I thought it was a very important thing to kind of bring you guys a look at this so you can be well informed before you buy. This is also a very cool pack because it's going to feature Darth Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi as they clashed in the Disney Plus Kenobi series. Very cool. It's also a set piece, a display piece, and we're going to talk about what that means in this video, giving you guys kind of a look at the outside of the box here. So if you want to read any of this text here, go ahead and pause the video. It's an awful lot there. But yes, this is going to come with 2 miniatures, 2 unit stat cards, 2 stance cards, and 2 order cards, and a feature terrain display, which is this piece here, which you can not really use as a realistic terrain piece in your game because you can see it kind of blacks off right here. It's like a cutaway of what would be like a small portion of a larger terrain board. So it's very awkward. What it is nice for is if you're looking to do a diorama style piece. We're gonna unbox this. We're gonna look at the unit cards because the real interesting part about what's in here is these 2 characters, which can go into the set piece, and then it can also come out and of course play in Star Wars Shatterpoint. And there's an awful lot of they're dual era characters, and then some new rules just came out talking about the different eras as well. We're gonna so just really cool stuff. So we're gonna get this open. While I'm getting this open, let me remind you guys there is still that big $50 Amazon gift card giveaway. So if you want to win an expansion, or basically you can put that towards maybe picking up a core set or doing something else like that. All of that is going on all throughout July. We're gonna be announcing the winner of that at the beginning of August. So you have time left to enter to win that. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. And we're going to get all of this stuff out. That is the box. It's empty. We've got rules. We've got cards that appear holographic. Isn't that cool? So we got all of that. We've got a bag of screws. We've got this big old piece here, which, again, we're going to talk about this. And all of that. So, but yeah, so if you want to enter to win that giveaway, just be a subscriber, leave a comment on this or one of my videos, and we're going to dive into this pack. So first things first, you're going to get a little page that has your inserts, your language information on the back, and your credits page here. So here's all the folks that worked on this game. It is interesting when I look at the playtesters here. These are all AMG employees, so it seems that there were, like, I don't know if that counts if you list the people who worked on the game as playtesters. Like does it really count? I feel like that's cheating just a little bit. I feel like that's like, you can't, come on. Oh, Will Schick play tested this? Come on, he made the game, right? Come on, man. You can't put that down as a play test. I guess it counts, but it feels like that's cheating to me. Jokes aside, I think what's going on here is that because this is something that they got, basically they talked about this and then the Inquisitor set, that they started working on this before the show had come out, so Lucasfilm kind of gave them a heads up on being able to work with this stuff, so they had to keep it super tight under wraps, so they probably couldn't release this sort of stuff for public play testing, and that's why. That's my guess. Again, I'm not sure, but they did say that they were working with Lucasfilm pretty early on this, because again, it takes like 2 years. And for them to make something that's relevant to like a recent show, it wouldn't come out for multiple years afterwards. And this is, granted, the show's been out for a little while, so they still made it kind of close enough. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. All right, so here is all of that information. And by the way, I am definitely not assembling Darth Vader with this giant Magneto debris kind of thing going on in the back there. That's bizarre. One really cool bit is that we have holographic cards. Now you are getting cards for lots of different languages, so I thought that that's pretty cool. Well, so we've got different languages here. We got multiple versions of that. I'm only going to really focus, and that applies to all of the cards too, the activation cards, the stance cards, all that stuff. So I'm going to take the non-English versions. I'm going to set those aside, and we're going to look at these. So first, let's look at Obi Wan Kenobi out of hiding. He is a secondary unit, which is a big deal for this game. You don't often see a big name character like Obi-Wan as a secondary. And I think, like from a certain point of view, he's older now. And maybe in this case, I don't know. It's hard to say why they made him a secondary other than the fact that it fits into the wave better that way. And so this is a time where maybe mechanically he's sort of, it works him better as a secondary than as a primary. He's going to be a 4-point secondary, does not come with any force. He is multi-era. Now, according to the way this multi-era symbol works here, you've got the 1/2, which is basically the fall of the Jedi, according to the rulebook. So that's the farthest back that the game goes as of today, but it certainly could be adjusted at another point. Then you have the era of rebellion, or the Age of Rebellion over here. Now, there's also an era in between those two, which is the rise of the Empire. So basically, he works for 3 different eras, and the rise of the Empire would probably be stuff that doesn't quite make it all the way to the time of the rebellion. So maybe some early Empire stuff. I could see like Bad Batch era stuff kind of fitting into that time frame. So that's kind of cool. All right, so when we flip him over, he's got some cool stuff. He's got run automatically when you activate him, as indicated by his card having that on there also. At the start of his activation, he or another allied character that is engaged with an enemy character, choose a character in this unit or another allied character that's engaged with an enemy character. The character may heal and reposition. So this is just massive move ability, and reposition. Even if he's engaged, he can run away. So he's a little, maybe a little cowardly. He went through that journey in this. This isn't necessarily him at the end of the Obi Wan Kenobi series. This is him as an amalgam of all of the different kind of personality traits he had throughout the entire series, where, running was definitely something he did for a while until he didn't. And he's got the mind trick, which is 2 force. An allied character within 3 is targeted by an attack. This unit may use this ability. The attack ends. If it's the attacker's activation, it may make another attack targeting a different character and using 2 less dice. So if it's a free attack, then it totally shuts it down. If it's a normal attack, it's going to say, no, go for somebody else and roll less dice. This is a huge, huge ability, and I hope we see more of this. Greater purpose, he's immune to exposes, and he would heal instead, which is really cool. And then he's got Last Stand of the Jedi. For each injured token, he adds 2 dice to their attack and to their defense rolls. He's got 8 health, 2 stamina, so he can be killed. But it's still, if he's once he gets that first injury token, he's gonna be a lot harder to get damage on. He loses a lot of keywords here, though. He is Force user and he is Jedi. So there you go. And then we got his order card here, and we have a stance card here. So he is he's only got 1 being a secondary. So he's got that form 3 Sorasu, 5 defense dice, 6 attack. A lot of options here. A lot of different options of a lot of mobility on his healing and mobility. It's a triple heal there, but he's only going to get 4 successes through. Now this is still a lot because he can do 7 damage if he goes up the middle. He can reposition, heal 3 times. You have a lot of flexibility in what he can do. No ranged attack on him, but a lot of flexibility. His defensive expertise is standard. It's pretty decent. His offensive expertise is pretty decent as well. Nothing like, oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. I feel like Mind Trick is just a really good one, and that one will be super helpful. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, talk about holograms and fancy stuff on your tabletop. I want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. I want to show you some of the damage tokens that they have. These are from the Legion compatible set. They are fully compatible with any game that uses damage tokens, such as a game like this. These are super awesome tokens. I wanted you to check them out. If you use code Crabbok VIP over at Luxury Playstyle, you are going to save 15%. The cool thing about tokens like this, these are double-sided, so as you're taking damage, you can put that on there. You take another damage, you can do that. You take a third one. You will go a long way, and you won't need to use more than 2 tokens for quite a while, because once you take 4 damage, you take that 5th damage. Oh, did we talk about the Crabbok tokens that are back in stock? These limited edition Crabbok tokens are now finally back in stock while supplies last, folks. Any order of $35 or more that uses code CrabbokVIP at luxuryplaystyle.com is going to get a Crabbok lightsaber nunchuck token. Now, really cool thing about these is they are double-sided, right? Just like these. And when I worked with Luxury Playstyle to kind of come up with what the Crabbok token should have, I wanted it to, of course, have the logo on there, and of course the lightsaber nunchucks. And these are really cool. They sparkle a little bit on the blades, right? And they sparkle with red on the blades on the other side. So lightsaber nunchucks on both sides, a little force lightning coming out of them. But these have a 5 that you can use for a 5 damage counter on the other side. You can also use the C if you wanted to, track wounds or something like that. But I really totally dig this because once I've got my 4th, boom, all of a sudden I put a 5 on there. And now I'm down to just 1 more token. Oh, 6, no problem. Oh, 7, boom. Oh, do I get 8? Well, he's already wounded. So again, you don't have to have a whole army of tokens on here. You can really minimize the number of tokens you have on each character with an awesome token like this. So I thought that that's pretty cool. I love the double-sided nature of it. It's very, very cool. So so head over to Luxury Playstyle, check them out, use code CrabbokVIP, you'll save 15%. Next up is Darth Vader, also with that fancy holographic look on the card. Very cool. 7 squad points. He comes with 4 force points. And since this is Star Wars Shatterpoint, he also exists within those multi-era, just like Obi-Wan. You can run Obi-Wan in Vader's squad if you want, which is just really cool. He's a primary unit. It does point out that he cannot be included in a strike team with Anakin Skywalker. I make jokes like, why can't he be used with Anakin Skywalker? Do they not get along? I don't know. Maybe I'll find out when I finish watching Star Wars. But very cool. It looks also awesome on this side too. So that's a kind of a nice little bonus for these. He's got a lot of keywords: Force User, Galactic Empire, Galactic Republic, Inquisitorius, and Sith. And he's going to pair well with Inquisitors, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why they gave this set 2 miniatures, because the Inquisitors have 4, and you need 3 and 3 to make a full Inquisitorius build. Now, Obi-Wan doesn't necessarily fit into the Inquisitorius build. He does fit into it points-wise, but thematically, he doesn't exactly fit, unless you want to maybe paint him with like a black cloak. Maybe you want to do like an Obi-Wan that got turned to the dark side. I think that'd be kind of a cool way to possibly consider running Obi-Wan. It could be cool. All right, so he's got some awesome stuff. So Vader's Fury, it's an action he can take. Power uses a force, and he gets a free advance. This is huge. And during his next attack, he gets to add 2 to the damage pool. So this is huge, and it's nice. Sometimes some of these things give somebody extra dice. He doesn't even have to roll for it. He's getting 2 extra damage assigned. He's got Riposte. Of course, if somebody misses, they're going to take 2 damage back. He's got the Sith Lord strikes back when this unit is wounded by an attack. After the attack is resolved, it may use this ability. He can dash and then make a 5 dice attack targeting the character that wounded it. The funny thing is, this would be countered by Obi-Wan's mind trick. And I love the idea of Obi-Wan mind tricking Darth Vader out of attacking him. I love that idea of how does that actually play out. If that happens, I'll ask my opponent, okay, so what does Obi-Wan say to Darth Vader to make him stop attacking? Then we have Your Hatred Makes You Powerful. This one's really nice. When an allied character makes a melee attack as part of a combat action, after choosing a target, the attacking unit may suffer 2 damage. If it does, the attacker adds 3 dice to the attack roll. Love that. I mean, just saying, take damage, 3 extra dice. He has 12 health and 3 stamina, so he can afford to take lots of damage and just keep on going and going. He's got his unit card here, and here's the Dark Rage card. This is his stance card. This is a nasty little one. It's pretty offensive, but he's got Gem So on the other side, which is a little more defensive, but gives him a ranged option where he throws the lightsaber, right? So a lot of different cool things here. All right, so let's look at Dark Rage. 7 melee attack. 1 expertise gives you 2 crits, which is really good. I really like that. Not quite as defensive. A good amount of damage. A lot of pushing. This is really good. I mean, honestly, pushing people off objectives is what this is all about. Notice Vader doesn't have any force jumping or flying or crazy stuff. Like, they want to keep him slow to that Frankenstein kind of stuff. So while he can move, he's going to have to climb an awful lot. So Vader is going to... I feel like he's going to struggle with the high ground. He's going to have to want to do climb actions. And that's something he's super crazy about. Or just, use the ladders and the ingress points. But yeah. So there's that. And then we go to Gem So. This one has that ranged attack. It's a little more flexible, and he does get a free climb on this one if he gets all the way down. So I thought that was pretty cool. You don't often see the climb symbol up on the stance cards. So pretty cool. He's got some cool options. I love his keywords, and I love having Darth Vader in this game finally. In a version of Darth Vader that can work in the Clone Wars, which means you can use this dual era symbol here to say, hey, the version of Darth Vader is actually going to lead the 501st clones. And so you can actually have, Vader and Obi Wan and the 501st clones. Like, as if on Mustafar they had maybe a change of plans, and he goes, if you're not with me, then you're against me. And he goes, Anakin, what? Wait a second. Oh, you are my brother, Anakin. What? Well, wait, hold on. Let's be friends. And then all of a sudden, Dark Obi-Wan is born. Like, you can totally do that here, which is super cool. Let's look at some of the plastic. All right, so first up, here is the Moneymaker sprue. This is Vader and Obi-Wan. They have slightly different bases. When I get these guys assembled, we'll kind of compare them to some other bases. But yeah, so we've got Vader here. We've got the helmet bits. We've got legs, torso, other leg, crotch, and then skirt area, the hat. I like the way they attached the hat here. They didn't necessarily attach it at the very top of the helmet, which is always a bonus. The last time we did one of these, like sometimes they affix them in weird spots. Obi-Wan, here we go. We've got the head right there. We've got arm and lightsaber. This is Vader's other arm. Vader bits right there. So Obi-Wan, and then here's the other base there. The cool thing is, like, these are significantly different bases, and they'll kind of work a little bit well with the current basing scheme that I have going on. So I thought that's pretty cool. So it seems compatible at least. So yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We've got a couple other pieces here. This is other parts of the terrain build for the diorama set piece, that featured display. We've got this part is... Now, what they've said is, like, this is like you're building like this car or this generator piece that's behind Vader in the display. And they talk about how well you can use this as regular terrain if you don't glue it to the display. I don't honestly think I have any interest in even putting these together. Like, I think these are all going straight in the trash because, frankly, look at this display piece. So here it is. I can't use this as a piece of terrain on my board. I mean, come on. Like, that's just bizarre. Like, and the thing is, this is obviously not meant to be a piece of terrain. This is meant to be a diorama set piece. I think it's really, really funny, though, that they gave it a sprue. I'm like, oh, this is piece C01. So here it is on the frame. Like, really, you needed to put this giant piece on a sprue? Like, this is really funny. But they put that little, it's almost like a carrying handle on a lunchbox. is what it kind of reminds me of. But I guess I'm annoyed by this is because this big piece of plastic is what makes the whole thing cost $100 for only 2 miniatures, which is kind of a bummer. I don't think a lot of people are gonna, I feel like a lot of people aren't gonna be able to afford this pack because it is priced so high compared to the number of miniatures you get. But at the same time, is Darth Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi it's in demand characters? If this was, if this was like Boshek and Nine Numb or or something like that, or Cy Snoodles or something like that, like then people would probably be able to pass on it. But I feel like it's almost predatory in a way because it's grossly overpricing something that really people only want these 2 miniatures for. And by the way, you're not going to get these 2 miniatures again. You'll get different versions. There's already Obi Wan Kenobi, for example, is already in the game, but not this version. Darth Vader is already in the game, but not this version, right? And that's also not holographic and stuff like that. But that's just cosmetics. This is actually gameplay stuff. That seems really good. It seems really fun, and I definitely plan to run these guys. But fortunately, I was able to afford this, and not everybody's is going to be in that same position. So, it's an interesting thing, but. For now, I'm going to go ahead and put these guys together, and we'll take a look. All right, so we've got everybody assembled here, and so here's a nice look at Obi-Wan and double-handed grip. One thing I wasn't crazy about is the lines on the cloak, but I guess that's part of the sculpt deliberately, like where the sleeves come out. I guess he just has different sleeves that come out there, but it looks like almost like a bad mold line on there. But that's just and if you look at the way it's painted too, it's like it's on the the factory painting job of it as well, which is a little interesting. Vader came out really well. Looks good. There is an extra a spot in the back under right there, where you could put some of that debris in if you wanted that giant Dr. Octopus tentacle on his base, and he's kind of holding it with the Force. But I definitely didn't want that, because then we can do all kinds of fun stuff if we've got this Vader here. Like I could take my little Grogu from Mando and put that in his hand like that, like he's going to throw Grogu at you or something crazy, or or something like that, or a football or basketball or something like that. You could do all kinds of cool stuff. I once did a Darth Vader for Legion that was holding a porg. So a lot of cool options you can do with this Vader. And these both will go in here pretty easily if you want to do that as well. If you want to build out all the extra little debris pieces, you can sort of do that. All right, that's going to do it for the You Cannot Run Duel Pack. Pretty nice looking models in here, very cool looking holographic cards, and also a pretty high price tag as well. But then again, you're also getting Darth Vader. So, but if you don't want to get this version of Darth Vader, there is another one that will eventually be coming. There's some Return of the Jedi kind of themed, Rebellion and Galactic Civil War era stuff coming. Vader and Stormtroopers are going to be coming at some point. So is like Luke Skywalker and Leia and Lando and stuff like that, and Han Solo and all of that stuff is eventually going to be on the way too. So there's going to be plenty of other opportunities to get these characters if this pack is not for you. But let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to jump in our Discord. I'd love to have you guys continue the discussion. Links are all going to be down in the description below. If you want to get build instructions for this, check out the latest and greatest rules for Star Wars Shatterpoint. It's going to be a Shatterpoint link down in the description below. And I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful day. May the Force be with you. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely awesome and help make this channel possible. So thank you for your continued support. I will talk to you later. Have a fantastic day.